And now see if you can breathe into a slow count of 5 and out to a slow count of 5. And now moving to 6. Into 6 and out to 6. And going back to 5. Going back to 4. Letting go of the counting altogether, just breathing in and out. And letting your eyes gently open. Take the chin down to the chest and then up toward the ceiling. So we're doing a yes movement with the head here. Lowering and lifting. Breathing in and breathing out. And it doesn't matter when you inhale and exhale as long as the breath stays smooth and even, steady. And when you get your chin down to your chest, give it an extra little, like you're trying to push your chin into the notch between your collarbones before you come back up. So give it an extra little push down into the collarbones and then back up. And last time, little push down into the collarbones and then back up. Good. And let's just go side to side like you're saying no. And go slowly, especially if you tend to get dizzy, you feel a little lightheaded. If you can, when you get all the way to the right, just give an extra little, like you can get a little farther over, a little extra on the left, like you could get a little farther over. Excellent. And coming back to center, let's take the right ear to the right shoulder, and then left ear to left shoulder, and again, go nice and slow. And you're not bending your body, it's just your neck, right? So you might not get very far on one side. You might be like, hey, I don't have a whole lot of range there, right? Breathing in and breathing out. Again, nice, slow, steady breath. And then coming back to center, we're going to turn and look down to the right and up to the left. And down to the right and up to the left. So we're just starting to wake up the neck and the shoulders a little bit here. Good. Couple more down to the right and up to the left. And then coming back to center, we're going to look down to the left and up to the right. And down to the left and up to the right. And keep breathing. Nice, smooth, steady breaths. And how about one more time down and up? Good, and then we'll come back to center. Let's roll the shoulders a few times. So we're just kind of coming up and around. And listen to that shoulder music in there this morning. Shoulders can be a little crunchy, a little crackly. And then see if you can reverse the direction of your shoulder rolls. Good. And then let's take just the right shoulder. We're going to move that up and around. And then just the left shoulder up and around. And going back to the right, go backwards, or go the opposite of the way you went, right? So if you were going forwards, you go backwards. If you were going backwards, you go forwards. And then same thing on the left. So we're going to go, I don't remember which way. Just go the opposite. All right, and then we're going to take the right hand to the right shoulder. We're going to make some big circles here with the elbow coming up and around. And reverse direction, so go the other way. So like you're making big circles on that wall over there, right? And if you've got something going on with your shoulder, just do the best you can if it doesn't allow this range of movement. Now see if you can do a figure 8, right? So you're doing a figure 8 with that elbow, and breathe, and reverse the figure 8, so go the other way. Everybody's doing great. Okay, and now write your first name, right? In cursive. Don't forget to dot the I's and cross the T's. Right? If you got a really short name, you could just keep writing it. Yeah. If your name's Ed, just keep writing it. Keep going. I'm on my 3rd round here, so you guys, here we go. Excellent. Let's go the other side. Let's do some circles here. So nice big circles around, hand on the shoulder or up near the shoulder. And make your circles as big as you can, right? So the more range you can get here in the shoulder, the better. And then the next time your elbow's down toward the floor, reverse direction, go the other way. Yeah. Good. I don't know about you guys, but this shoulder is more noisy for me this morning. And then let's make some figure 8. So nice big figure 8. And reverse that figure 8. Go the other way as you breathe. I always hear a big intake of breath, so I know you've been holding it, right? Okay, so now write your last name in cursive. That's hard because it's maybe your non-dominant. Plus, how often do you write with your elbow, right? So keep writing it, even if it's short. Don't forget T's, I's, Q's, any other thing that you need to do there. Special character. Oh, I started writing my first name. I got confused up here. Okay. All right. Oh, all right. Relax that. Let's roll the shoulders a couple of times. So let's take both hands to the shoulders, right? And we're just going to do a little syncopated rhythm. Now, syncopated rhythm means we go in the same direction, but at different times. So it's like kayaking, right? So kayaking is the perfect example of a syncopated rhythm. So we got one arm going forward and the other arm is circling back. And you can twist your spine a little bit here if it feels good. So it's not just the shoulders, it's the spine as well. And then let's back up the kayak. So we'll go in the reverse. Good. Okay. And then bring that back to kind of stillness. We're going to take the right arm. Let's take the whole right arm and go up and around, and then the left arm up and around. So syncopated rhythm here. This is like the crawl, like swimming, right? So as you're doing the crawl, you can turn your head, right? So when the arm comes up, you turn your head to the other side. If that makes you feel dizzy or a little lightheaded, just don't turn your head. That's okay. You can keep your head forward. Everybody breathing okay? Yeah? Don't inhale any water. Okay. And then at some point, let's do the backstroke. Get the backstroke, right? Oh. And as you bring the arm back, you can twist a little bit, open through the chest, right? So we don't think of the chest as part of the shoulder, but it is. And go nice and slow. So we're not doing windmills. We're doing a backstroke. How we doing, folks? Okay, good. And then bring the hands back down to the lap. So that went pretty well, huh? That syncopated rhythm is something we're used to. It's something we do. When we walk, we're in a syncopated rhythm, right? Because one leg is forward and one leg is back, and then we switch. So we are used to that. Our brain is used to having something going in the same direction, but at opposite times or at different times. So now we're going to mix it up a little bit differently, where we're going to have one arm going in one direction and one arm going in the other direction, right? So we're going to take the right arm and just make some big circles going forward, right? So you're just making some big circles going forward. Got that? Pretty easy. So not backwards, forwards, right? So you're coming up and forward and down. Good. Put that hand on the lap. We're going to go to the left side. And we're going to go backwards, okay? So back and down, right? Back and down. And you're breathing, of course, because you're still sitting upright. Good. Okay. Pretty easy, right? Bring that hand back down to the lap. Okay, so now let's take the right arm forward. And at the same time we're bringing the right arm forward, bring the left arm backwards. It's difficult, yes. It's like your brain has to be in two places at one time. Yeah. If you're doing the crawl or the backstroke, that's not what we're doing. So I see some people doing the crawl. You want to be crawling with one hand and backstroking with the other hand. Ho, ho, ho. That's fun. Okay. Okay, so that was so easy. We're going to do it the other way now. So on the left, we're going to go forward. So you're crawling on the left, and you're backstroking on the right. Now that might be easier for some people. Can't do it. I see you crawling back there. Keep breathing, keep going. You guys are doing great. All right, and then let your arms come down. Whew. Roll those shoulders a couple of times. That's always a good way to kind of wake things up a little bit, right? Just to see where is the connection with my brain and my movement, like not as crisp and clean, right? All right, so let's take time and do a little bit with the elbows. So if you just extend your arms down, and we're just going to bend the elbows and tap the shoulders, right? Pretty simple. And then as we're doing this, we're going to slowly raise the upper arms. So we're still tapping. And we're going to get those upper arms way up overhead, right? And then all the way back down. So that's the whole movement. We're just cycling through, going way down here, out to the front, up overhead, back to the front, and all the way down. Now keep the left arm down, but start to raise just the right arm. Looks like it should be really easy to do, right? And now slowly lower that right arm. Are you breathing? No, I see everybody, the mouth is either open or the teeth are clenched. Do the left now. And nobody's breathing. So the hands are touching the shoulders at the same time, but one arm is lifting up and one arm is staying stable. You got that? Okay, let's hang out here for a minute. Let's keep going. So we're kind of, this is like jumping rope, right? We're just kind of hanging out in the middle. Okay, so now let's bring the elbows straight up in front. So we got the upper arms up. Everybody doing okay, yeah? We're going to take the right arm up and the left arm down. At the same time you're doing this, you guys got this. And then you're going to bring the right arm down and the left arm up. Ooh, a little more brain power here, right? Keep going. Right arm up, left arm down. You need more brain power? We need to plug in a little more brain power here. That's okay. All right. And then next time your hands are on your shoulders, let's stay here and make some circles. Holy smokes. And reverse the circles. All right. We got that kind of all loosened up there in the upper body, right? So why don't we slide back into the chair? So we got some movement in the shoulder joints, right? We kind of warmed things up in the shoulder joints. And now we're going to explore what kind of range we've got in the shoulders and in the arms using the back of the chair for a little bit of support. So you're going to take your arms up into a nice big Y and lean back into your chair, but don't let your head snap back. So you're going to keep your chin down, okay? So you're leaning back and then you're bringing your hands back down. That's it, right? That's the whole thing. Breathing in and out as you come into this nice big Y. And you can make your Y wider as you lean back. I like that these chairs have a little bit of give, right? So they bounce a little bit when you lean back into them. Good. How about two more of this nice big Y? Last one. Great. And then we're going to go to a W. So the W is when your arms don't come up straight, but they come into like a little V on each side, right? So when I come back into the W, squeeze the elbows back as far as they'll go, and then come back. So breathing in and out, we're coming into this W. Breathing in, breathing out, doesn't matter when, just that you keep it nice and steady and smooth. A couple more. And the last one we're going to hold here. So hold here and breathe. Hold here and breathe. And then back off by about 50%. So we're holding here in the W, and the back is supported on the chair, right? So now we're going to take the right arm up into the Y position, and then back down to the W, and the left arm to the Y position, and the W. So that's all we're doing, is one side is doing one way, one side's doing the other way. This is a great exercise to do if you've got shoulders that feel like they're not moving so freely. Coming up and then coming back down. Good. One more time on each side. Great. And then we're going to hold here. We're going to bring the arms out into a T. So everybody's got a T. Ooh, and we all got enough space, almost. Okay, so from your T position, let's rotate the palms toward the back and then up toward the ceiling. And then rotate the palms down and up toward the ceiling. So we're just rotating the arms forward and backward. Try not to hunch your shoulders. In other words, try not to do this. Lean into the back of the chair, and all of this movement is happening out here in the arms. You're reaching your fingers, you're reaching your arms. It's like I'm thinking like a corkscrew, right? So it's just kind of turning, turning, turning. Breathing in, breathing out. Yes, it's tiring. It should be tiring. Yes. Good. How about one more time, you guys? Good. And then lower your arms down. Let them hang down by your sides. Whew. Right? All right. Take your hands forward. We're going to slide forward into the chair. Let's roll those shoulders up, back, and around a little bit. So we've gone from the neck and the shoulders a little bit into the arms and the elbows. So let's do a little bit of work for the wrists. So if we just kind of circle the wrists around. And we'll circle the other way. Good. And then make like a little fist, like you're holding onto like a handlebar or something. And we're going to go all the way down with the fists, all the way down, down, down. It's like you're riding a motorcycle and you're trying to go as fast as you can, right? And then we're going to go all the way up and extend the fingers. And then make your little fist and come all the way down, all the way up, and extend the fingers. So there we go. That's the whole movement. So I'm getting you ready for when you get on your motorcycle, when the weather gets good. Get out there and on the open road. Couple more times doing this. And you can feel this not just in your wrists and your hands, but you feel this in your arms too, right? Yeah. Great. And then shake that out a little bit. Okay. And then let's stretch the fingers. So we're going to just press through the palm of the hand as we hold back the 4 fingers. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we're just kind of pressing. So the palm is coming forward and the forearm is down toward the floor and back to the right side. Good. And over to the left side again. Good. And then bring your fingers down toward the floor. Press on the back of your right hand. And then on the back of your left hand. So straighten your elbow a little bit if you can. That gives you more of a stretch here. And then right side. And left side. Good. And then let's finish it off by thank you. Yes, interlacing the fingers. Yeah, that word just wasn't there for me. And then we're going to press the palms away and round through the upper back. Bring your chin down toward your chest. Oh, feel that nice stretch there through the upper back. And then release all of that. Okay. So bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And all we're going to do here is drop the knees in and bring the knees out. So drop them in and out. So just starting to make some movement here in the hip joints. So your hip joint is where your leg bone comes into your hip, comes into your pelvis rather. Because you have 2 pelvic bones. You got one on the right, one on the left. You got the leg bones that come in. So now let's go to the same side. So back and forth to the same side. Good. You can hold on to your chair if you have slippery pants like I do, or else you'll be on the floor. Okay. And one more time in each direction. Good. And then come back to center. Let's scoot over a little bit to the right side. And as you scoot over to the right side, keep your left foot on the floor. We're just going to lift the right foot maybe a 1/2 inch off the floor, and then we're going to bring it out to the right and lower it down. And then lift it about just a 1/2 inch and back. So we're not lifting really high. It's just a little bit. And that's just to start to engage some of the muscles there, right? So see if you can do that without leaning your body. If you find that you're leaning your body, just hold on to the chair, and that'll help you keep your body nice and upright. Right? Okay. Next time you have your foot out to the side, we're going to hold it out there. And then I'm going to scoot a little farther over in my chair, and I'm going to try and get my knees 90 degrees from one another, and my body, your body, is going to be facing that left knee. So in other words, you're facing forward, but your knee is out here to the side. Now your ankle is underneath your knee, okay? Now here, let's just kind of drop the knee forward a little bit, so we're relaxing the muscles here, the knee's dropping forward. And now we're going to engage the muscles in the outer part of the hip and the outer part of the leg and pull the knee toward the back wall. So as you pull your knee toward the back wall, sit up nice and tall in your chair. Yep, breathe in, breathe out. And then relax the leg. And again, we're going to pull that knee toward the back wall so you can feel the muscles in the side of your hip really firing. Can everybody feel that? Yeah? Okay. And relax. And last time, we're going to pull that knee toward the back wall and hold and breathe. So as you're pulling your knee toward the back wall, again, your heel is underneath your knee. So as you're pulling the knee toward the back wall, you're going to push into your foot, into your right foot. So you should feel that whole leg light up. You should feel all kinds of muscles in that leg really starting to activate nice and strongly here. Keep breathing. You're still facing forward. You're inhaling and exhaling. Spine is nice and long. And then relax everything. Good. Extend that leg. Have the heel on the floor and the toes reaching up toward the sky. Holding onto the chair with your left hand now. We're just going to lean into that left side and then come back up. Now, if this doesn't feel good with your back, you can stay right here. You can also add an arm reach if you want. Again, completely up to you. So you can stay where you are here. You can lean to the side without the arm. You can lean to the side with the arm. As long as you're breathing in, breathing out, you're lifting your toes. And just for a little extra fun, as you're lifting your toes up, can you spread them out nice and wide? That's just a little foreshadowing for what's coming, right? So we'll get there for sure. How about one more time, leaning out into that left side? Good. And then you're going to relax that leg, bend the knee, bring the foot back to the floor. And now we're going to keep the whole foot on the floor, the heel, the toes, the knuckles of the toes, as you slide your foot in closer to the chair. So slide it in as far as it will go before your heel lifts. If your heel is lifting off the ground, you want to bring it out a little bit. You want to have that heel, you want to be in the place where the heel is almost lifting, like it's just on the edge of lifting. When you get there, now, so again, you've got your tripod on the floor. You're going to push down into that foot like you're trying to stand up and relax. And then push down into that foot and relax and breathe as you're doing this. So try not to hold your breath. So you're pushing down into the foot and relaxing. And next time we do this, we're going to push down into the foot and we're going to hold and keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep pushing. So your toes are pushing down, your heel is pushing down, the whole foot is pushing down. Okay, relax that. And then see if you can slide your foot in a little closer to the chair. Notice if you have a little more space. Heel is on the floor though. Don't lift your heel. So maybe you were able to come in a millimeter. Maybe you were able to come in quite a significant amount. So once again, we're going to have the heel and the toes on the floor. You're going to push down into the floor and relax, and you should feel muscles in your leg, in your foot, really lighting up. Push down into the floor and then relax. And last time we're going to push into the floor, we're going to hold and breathe. So don't forget that baby toe. Now sometimes what happens when we're pushing into the floor with the leg in this position, the baby toe will lift or the big toe will lift. Can you push them all down? Can you push like you're going to stand? So like you're really activating the leg muscles? Good, and then relax all of that. Whew. Let's take that foot, bring it back around. And you're going to continue to travel across the chair as you turn toward the kitchen or turn toward your left side. I guess that's a better way to say it. And then slide your bum to the right side of your chair. So you're sitting sideways on the chair and the whole back of your left leg should be supported on the chair, right? Scoot to the front edge of your chair so that your right cheek is hanging off and hold on to the back of the chair. And then we're going to take that right leg and step or slide it back. And then relax and come forward a little bit. Step or slide it back. Relax and come forward a little bit. And last time we're going to step or slide it back and hold and breathe and press out through the heel and raise that right arm up overhead if that feels okay. So if you can only do some of this, that's okay. So maybe you can't get your leg back, just raise the right arm. Maybe you can't get your arm up, so just put the leg back. So it's that right arm and the right leg. We're extending, breathing. And then slowly release and come all the way back. Turn to the center of your chair and scoot to the left side. So here we are on the left side. So the right foot is on the floor in front. And once again, we're going to start from the beginning, warming things up here for the hip. We're going to take that left foot up off the floor about a ½ inch out and down. Lift about a ½ inch up and forward. So you can hold on to the chair if you need a little support here, or if you just feel like sometimes when you lift your leg and your whole body will turn. So we don't want the body to turn. The body is facing forward. It's just the leg that's going out to the side. So we're trying to work just that hip joint. Got that? It should be a little challenging. And the next time that you have your foot out to the side, we're going to hold there. See if you can get 90 degrees between your right knee and your left knee. And your torso is facing me, right? So you're facing forward there. We're going to let that left knee just kind of relax a little bit, because I want to put the muscles here on the outside of the leg and on the outside of the hip on a little bit of a stretch before we engage them and pull that knee now toward the back wall. I did forget to say, have your ankle underneath your knee. In other words, you don't want to be way out here. You don't want to be way in here. You want to have the ankle somewhere like comfortably underneath the knee. So relax that leg again. And now let's pull the knee toward the back wall. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're turning to the left, keep your body turned to the right. So we're really activating the muscles in the outside of the hip and the outside of that leg. And at the same time now you're going to push down into your foot. So you're pushing down into the foot. You're pulling that knee toward the back wall. So there's a lot of activation of muscles in the leg going on right now. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Can you push down just a little bit more? Keep that leg engaged. Don't let it relax. Good. And then relax the leg, extend it out so the heel is on the floor, the toes are reaching toward the sky. Again, your body is facing forward. You're going to have your right hand on the chair now, and all we're going to do is lean into that right side. So you can lean into the right side a little bit. You can bring the arm up overhead if you want. You can just stay seated here without leaning. That's okay too. So kind of pay attention to what's happening in your body this morning. Do you feel like you could really use that stretch with the arm up overhead? Or is your back a little cranky or your hip a little cranky and you're feeling like, I don't really want to bend over quite so much this morning? Keep the breath moving, right? So keep the breath moving. And let's try 2 more of these. So if you're leaning, you're going to go for 2 more rounds, leaning over and then coming back. And then leaning over and coming back. Good. And after your second one, you're going to bend that left knee, bring your foot in. So keep the heel and the toes on the floor as you slide that foot in as close to your chair as it will go. So the foot is coming in, but the heel stays on the floor. If your heel lifts, like I can get my foot way in here, but you can see my heel is lifted. I'm going to keep that heel on the floor. So just notice now, is it different on this side? So quite often you're going to have a big difference, or you're going to have some difference between one ankle and the other in its ability to do this. So pressing down into the heel and into the toes and into the forefoot, you're going to push down like you're trying to stand up. Push down, push down, push down, and then relax, right? Push down, keep breathing. So try not to hold your breath. We're not holding the breath as we're doing this, but we're pushing down as hard as we can. And then relax, keep the heel on the floor. So don't let that heel come up. Good. And one more time, push down, and we're going to hold, 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 and keep breathing. Push down, hold. And then relax that. Whew, take a breath. And then see if you can slide your foot in just a little bit. It might be a millimeter. It might be not at all. Maybe it stays right where it is, right? So sometimes we get restriction at the front of that ankle, and that can pose some problems for us, especially when we're trying to navigate stairs. So once again, push down and relax. Keep the heel on the floor. Push down and relax. And one more time, we're just going to push down into that whole foot and relax. Good. Let's take that foot, bring it back around to the front. Let's sit into the back of the chair now. So slide all the way back. Oops, I forgot one, didn't I? Sorry. Scoot to the side. Just dawned on me when I got back there. Nobody was going to tell me. Oh, I see how you guys are. Okay, so we're facing the right now, and your bum is slid to the left side of your chair, and then we're going to slide the left foot back, and then bring it forward. And that's it. Just slide it back and bring it forward. Great. And next time you slide it back, you're going to hold here. So with the foot slid back, it's like you're trying to straighten that leg a little bit. If you want to add the arm now, take your left arm and raise your left arm up. If that doesn't work, if that hurts your shoulder or hurts your neck, or you just don't feel like you want to do that this morning, if you feel a little dizzy or a little lightheaded, keep the arm down. Try not to strain your neck forward, right? So if by raising your arm you're straining your neck forward, just bring the arm down a little bit. Can we hold here, whatever position you're in? Can you hold here for like 2 or 3 more breaths as you press out through that back foot? So it's like you're trying to straighten your foot, or straighten your knee, rather. Breathing in, breathing out. And then come all the way down. Excellent. Okay, let's bend that knee, come back around. Now sit into the back of your chair. Okay. All right. So we did some nice work for the hips. The lower back got a little bit of work. Let's do some work for the knees now. So we're just going to extend and bend one knee at a time. All right? So nice and slow. Just notice how your knees are working this morning. So knees can be a little cranky, right? So how does that feel to just extend and bend one? And when you get to the top of your extension, so when your leg is nice and straight, give a little extra squeeze here to the muscles above your knee. A little extra squeeze. Good. Okay. And now you're going to cross at the ankles. Cross your left over your right. And you're going to convince your left leg to be completely relaxed. It's not doing anything. It's just hanging out. It's going along for the ride. The right leg now, we're going to engage the muscles and straighten the right leg. So you're lifting the weight of your left leg and then slowly lowering down. Right? So once again, the left leg is completely relaxed. It's not helping out at all. So breathing in and breathing out. One more time. So the right leg is doing all the work here. It's lifting, lifting, lifting. Let's hold here for a breath or so. Or 5. And then slowly lower down. Excellent. Let's uncross and recross the other way. So now the right leg, you got to convince your right leg to completely relax. So take a break, and this guy comes online. So now we're extending that left leg, and we're lifting, lifting, and slowly lowering down. Right? So we're lifting up the weight of this right leg. The right leg is heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Good. How about 2 more times? And last time, lift, lift, lift. And all the way down. Excellent. So let's come forward in the chair. So we just started to warm up the knees a little bit in extension. Let's warm up the backs of the knees a little bit by taking the right heel toward the bottom of the chair and then extending the leg and putting it down. Same thing with the left. Bend, extend, and put it down. So we're just going back, up, and down, back, up, and down. And see if you can do this without using your upper body to make the movement, right? So it's just the leg that's doing the movement. And when we bring the heel under the chair, it's like you're trying to squeeze the back of the leg to get those hamstrings. Those are the muscles in the back of your leg. Trying to get those hamstrings to really work a little bit. Last time. And each side. Good. Excellent. Okay, let's do a little marching in place. So see if you can go slowly, again, without using your upper body to do this. Can you get your knees really high? Right? How high can you lift your knees? One at a time. Good. Excellent. How about one more on each side? Great. Okay. Let's take the right leg and circle at the ankle. got a little movement here in the ankle joint, and go the other way. Great, and then bring that foot to the floor. Same thing on the left, so circling. So we've worked from the hip to the knee. Now we're at the ankle, so go the other way. Circle, circle around. Bring that foot to the floor. Excellent. Let's come up on the right foot, do like a Barbie foot. So the Barbie foot is where you have your toes in the ground, right? It's like you're standing on a really high heel. And then let's go to the left and do a Barbie foot. Let's go back to the right, and we're going to do the opposite of the Barbie foot. So instead of like that, we're going to come over to the top of the foot and press down a little bit. And then on the left, same thing. Okay, one more time all the way through. So right foot Barbie and left foot Barbie. And then right the opposite of the Barbie. I don't know what the opposite of the Barbie is, but that's what I think. All right, so we've got a little stretching now through the front of the ankle, through the back of the ankle, through the bottom of the foot. So let's look down at those toes. How are the toes doing this morning? You got them all with you? Yeah? You think so? Okay. So if you got your shoes on, this might be a good time to slip your shoes off for a moment. If you got socks on, unless you got toe socks, you might want to slip your socks off just so you can see. And we'll be just having the feet on the floor, so you can always stand on your socks, right? So lift up all your toes. Spread them out nice and wide. And see if you can see some daylight between some of your toes, right? Maybe you can see some daylight between your big toe and the next one. Maybe you can see some daylight between your baby toe and the next one. Some of you can maybe even see some daylight between your middle toes. Okay, so keeping the toes nice and wide open, lower them all the way down to the floor. Right? So we've got the toes nice and spread, nice and wide, and we're lowered down to the floor, and you're pushing down a little bit into your toes. Now what I want you to do is try and move your big toes a little closer to one another. Right? So you can, in other words, you can lift them up a little bit. It's like they're crawling closer to one another. Breathe while you do this. Don't have your feet close together, by the way. So have your feet far enough apart that your toes are trying to reach toward one another. So they're trying to get there. So you can see all the little toes are kind of hanging on a little bit. So now push down into your big toe, and then see if you can bring all the little toes farther away from your big toe. Especially the baby. You're trying to get that baby toe way out there. So again, this won't work as well if you have socks on, because the socks are going to limit how far you can go. So just know that if you choose to keep your socks on. So take your big toes, bring them closer toward one another. Take your little toes, bring them farther away. Keep going back and forth with the big toes getting closer toward one another, and the other toes getting farther away. So it should start to feel like your front of your foot is getting wider. You might feel a little crampy feeling in the bottom of your foot, or even in and around your toes. So we're just trying to lift and spread the toes. So this is an exercise that I recommend people do for about 20 minutes a day. If you want to really get some independence in your toes, try doing this 20 minutes a day. Where can you get these socks? Injinji.com. There you go. Then you can see your toes. Yep. And then you can see your toes. Okay, so we're still trying to bring the toes wider apart. Everybody doing okay out there? That didn't sound so positive. It's the big toe. Okay, give everybody a break. Take a breath. Yeah, so there's tons of muscles in your feet, right? You got 4 layers of muscle here in the bottoms of your feet. You also have muscles between your metatarsals, which are the bones right here in in the kind of middle part of your foot. You got muscles in between there, and the muscles, they do that movement. They spread the toes apart, or they bring the toes together. So we're trying to really work the spreading the toes apart muscles, because when your feet are in conventional shoes all the time, they're in this position, right? So this is when I see a picture of my 5-month-old grandniece, those are her feet, right? So her toes are wide, nice wide open, and then what happens is we put them in shoes, and then this becomes the foot, right? So I want to have feet like her. I want to have those nice big wide open toes. Okay, so let's do this. Let's lift up all the toes, spread them out nice and wide, and then we're just going to tap the big toe and release, and tap and release, just the big toes. So tapping, tapping. It's like you're remember typing? Hunting and pecking. Remember they used to call it hunting and pecking? Now I think that's how. Never really good at it, right? I know. Okay, then lift everything up, hold your big toes up, and then we're going to push the little toes down. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Right? So the bigs stay up, and it's just the littles that are lowering and lifting. So we've gone from the hip all the way down to the toes. You've got way more joints down here in your foot than you do in your hip, by the way. Okay, now lift everybody up, place everybody down, keep them as wide as you can, push down into your feet, and now we're just going to lift and lower the big toes. Lift and lower the big toes and breathe. Yeah. So for some of you who've been doing this for a while, maybe it's getting a little easier. And then let's keep the big toes down and lower and lift all the littles. And this is, you know, guys, this is something you can do whenever you're sitting, right? So it's, I think we miss opportunities to fidget and move, right? Because we just kind of sit and watch TV. Why don't we sit and fidget, right? We can kind of move the toes. Okay, lift everybody up. Spread them nice and wide. Lower everybody down. How we doing? Everybody's obeying out there, right? All the toes, that is. Okay, so now you've got all the toes on the floor. They're spread out as wide as they can be right now. I want you to press into your big toes. Press into your last toes, your baby toes. Now keep your heels on the floor. We're not lifting heels. Big toes, baby toes, pressing down into the floor. And I want you to lift all your middle toes. And lower down. Yeah, it is fun, right? So again, let's press into the big toes, press into the baby toes, and lift all those little middle toes. Wow. Does it happen? Yeah. It gets tiring, yeah. All right, let's try it a different way. Let's do this. Let's lift all the toes up. Spread them out nice and wide. And now you're going to press your big toes down and your baby toes down, but not your middle toes. That might be easier for some people. That might be harder for some people. That might be equally frustrating for everybody. Lift everybody up. Let's try that again. So lift everybody up. So we're keeping the tripods on the floor, right? You're not lifting your foot off the floor. Spread the toes out. Press the bigs down and the babies down, but not the middles. So if you're helping, you're holding the middles up. Yep. So if you're having difficulty with this, trying to get those toes down, you can help by just holding up those middle toes as you press the others down. This is going to start to make that neural connection for you, and it's going to make some of that muscular and tissue, the issues down there in the tissue and the muscles a little bit different. Okay, how we doing? What was the first way easier? Was the second way easier? Second way was easier. Okay. Neither was easy, right? Okay, so let's do this just for equal time. You're going to have your right foot on the floor, spread your toes out and press down into your toes. Your left foot is on the floor, tripod's on the floor, and you're going to lift all your toes, right? So I'll say that again. So the right foot, all the toes are down and they're pressing. The left foot, all the toes are up and they're lifting. Now, on the right foot, you're going to press down into your big toe and your baby toe and lift the middles. On the left foot, you're going to press your big toe and your baby toe down and keep the middles lifted. Is your mind blown? Yes. This is crazy, right? And relax everything. And take a breath. Way harder than hip stuff, right? All right, let's do it on the other side, because maybe that's easier. I don't know. So press your left foot into the floor, all the bottom of your left toes down into the floor. Your right foot, the tripod's on the floor, but you're going to lift all your toes. So I'll say that again. Left foot on the floor, toes are down. Right foot, tripod down, toes are up. On the right foot, you're going to press your big toe and your baby toe down and keep the middles lifted. On your left foot, you're going to press the big toe down and the baby toe down and lift the middle toes. Are you breathing? And you're relaxing. Wowzer, right? Yes. Let's Barbie foot on the right. Push down into that foot. Let's go up into the anti-Barbie foot. Let's go to the left. We'll do a little Barbie foot here. We'll do the opposite of Barbie foot. And then bring that foot back down to the floor. So the toe stuff, you know, we do a lot of this. I try to incorporate this all the time, but the toe stuff is so important. The foot stuff is so important because this is your contact with the earth. And when we think about things that challenge us as we get older, you know, being able to walk well, being able to go up and down stairs, you know, that, like I was saying about the ankle flexibility, limitation in the front of the ankle is one of the major reasons why we have trouble coming downstairs. We need to have enough flexibility in the front of that ankle to be able to navigate the stairs. Big toe strength is really important for balance. It's important for motion, so for taking a step forward. If I don't have the strength in my big toe, when I push off, most falls happen at the initiation of gait. If I don't have strength in that big toe, I'm more likely to suffer a fall, and I definitely don't want to do that. So it can be fun, it can be frustrating, but if you try it, give yourself like time in front of the TV, time reading your book, time sitting at the kitchen table, you know, doing bills. What a great way to distract you from doing bills, right? So doing your bills or having a meal, to kick your shoes off and do these kinds of exercises. It's not like, oh gosh, I got to find 20 more minutes in my day to do this. Just move it in with something else. Okay, so close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths in and out here. And just notice, so we kind of went through everything. I think we pretty much hit most of the joints here. We went from the fingers to the shoulders. We went down to the hips, all the way to the toes. We did some work in the spine a little bit here when we were flexing back and raising the arms up overhead. So as you breathe in and out, just notice the parts of yourself that maybe feel a little bit more alive and a little bit more awake this morning. You might be noticing some parts of your body that have come online that maybe weren't before, right? So especially those small joints, the fingers sometimes, we don't get enough movement. It doesn't rise to the level of our awareness that we need to move the joints of the fingers. But between your feet and your hands, you have half the bones in your whole body. Between your feet and your hands. That's just incredible. So we neglect them at our peril, right? We need to be able to like take the covers off of jars, and we need to be able to prepare food and to write letters and to pat the cat and the dog and do all those things that require dexterity and mobility in the hands. And we need to walk and balance in the feet. We need to feel secure in our ability to do those things, to go up and down stairs, to get in and out of bed, to get on and off a chair, a toilet, a car seat, all of those things that require some movement and flexibility and balance. And then, of course, our breath, following the air as it moves in, feeling where it expands in your body, and then following the air as it moves out. So breathing in, breathing out, that's the single most important thing you do in any moment of the day. And most of the time that flies under the radar. So we're not even aware that we're inhaling and exhaling. Take your hands up to your chest and just breathe in and out to the space underneath your hands. See if you can take a deep enough breath in and out that you can feel your chest rising and falling. So again, most of us, we're breathing unconsciously, and we don't often fill our lungs as full as they can go. So this is just an invitation to fill your lungs a little bit more, to expand a little bit more. And after your next inhale, you can let it go with a sigh. And then if you want, you can just open your eyes, maybe say hello to your neighbors here. Thank you all for being here this morning. Enjoy the rest of this day. It looks like it's turning out to be a beauty out there, so enjoy, and I'll see you all next week. You're welcome.